Over 9 out of 10 drivers have no idea these mind-blowing car tips could save them thousands in car repairs. But here's the kicker. Driving instructors and mechanics have been gatekeeping these simple tips that could save your car's life. One of these tricks could prevent thousands in transmission replacement, and you've probably been ignoring it your whole life. Before you waste money, here are 17 little-known driving hacks mechanics don't want you to know. Don't skip. This could literally save you serious cash. Let's start now with tip number 17, mirror auto-tilting trick. You're backing into a parking spot and you have zero idea where your back wheels are in relation to that curb. Most people just guess and pray, risking curb rash on their rims or worse, smashing into something they can't see. But here's what driving instructors conveniently forget to mention during your lessons. Most modern cars have a secret feature that automatically tilts your side mirrors down when you reverse, giving you a perfect view of the curb and your rear wheels. But here's the catch. Most people never learn this feature exists because it's buried in the owner's manual that nobody reads. Mechanics love this because curb damage means new wheels, alignment work, and suspension repairs. That's easily $800 to $1,500 in their pocket. Now you can avoid it completely with a feature you already own. But wait, if that mirror trick just saved your rims, this next one's about to save your entire engine. Tip number 16, use cruise control only on flat roads. Cruise control seems like a gift from the automotive gods. Set it and forget it, right? Wrong. Here's what nobody tells you about cruise control that's slowly destroying your transmission. On hilly or mountainous terrain, cruise control forces your transmission to constantly shift gears, trying to maintain your set speed. This creates excessive wear on your transmission, torque converter, and clutch packs. And here's the kicker. We're talking about a $3,000 to $5,000 transmission rebuild, all because you trusted cruise control in the wrong conditions. Mechanics won't tell you this because transmission work is some of the most expensive service they offer. Now you know better. This next one sounds crazy but could save you from being stranded. Tip number 15, the Coca-Cola battery hack. Your car won't start. You pop the hood and see a disgusting mess of white, crusty corrosion all over your battery terminals. That corrosion blocks the electrical connection, preventing your battery from delivering power to your starter. Most people panic and call a tow truck or buy a new battery. But here's what mechanics know that could get you running again in 5 minutes. Here's the truth. This works because battery corrosion is typically alkaline, and the acid in Coke neutralizes it. It's basic chemistry saving your morning. Mechanics charge $75 to $150 for battery service and cleaning. You just did it with $1.50 worth of soda from the gas station. They've known about this trick forever. They just prefer billing you for professional service instead. You'd be shocked by this next one. Tip number 14. Keep your gas tank above 1/4. Running your gas tank down to empty feels like you're getting every last mile out of that tank. Maximizing value, right? But here's what's actually happening that nobody bothers to explain. When your fuel level drops below 1/4, your fuel pump starts sucking up sediment, debris, and contaminated fuel from the bottom of your tank. And it gets worse. Your fuel pump is designed to stay submerged in gasoline, which keeps it cool and lubricated. When you run low, the pump runs hot, works harder, and starts pulling in all that debris. This clogs your fuel filter, damages your fuel injectors, and eventually kills your fuel pump entirely. A fuel pump replacement costs $600 to $1,200 depending on your vehicle. Gas stations love drivers who run on empty because it means more frequent stops and impulse purchases. Mechanics love it because fuel system repairs are wildly profitable. You're smarter than both of them now. Speaking of saving money, this next tip cuts your AC costs in half. Tip number 13. Roll down windows before turning on AC. It's summer. Your car's been sitting in the sun all day, and the interior feels like a convection oven. Most people jump in, crank the AC to maximum, and sit there sweating while the system struggles to cool down superheated air. But here's what's actually happening. Your AC system is fighting against air that's literally 140 to 160 degrees inside your car. The compressor is working overtime, burning extra fuel, and wearing itself out faster. Roll down windows before turning on AC. And the result? This saves fuel, reduces wear on your AC compressor, and gets you comfortable faster. An AC compressor replacement costs $800 to $1,500. This simple habit extends its life by years. Mechanics don't mention this because AC repairs are some of the most profitable services they offer. Now you're in on the secret. This next one will shock you. Tip number 12, clearer headlights wax trick. You just restored your foggy headlights using toothpaste or a restoration kit, and they look crystal clear. 2 months later, they're foggy again. What gives? But here's what nobody tells you about headlight restoration. The plastic lens oxidizes when exposed to UV rays from the sun. Cleaning off the oxidation makes them clear temporarily, but without protection, UV rays attack the fresh plastic immediately, and the fogging comes right back. Here's the irony. Add wax. This adds 2 minutes to the job and costs basically nothing if you already have car wax. But it's the difference between headlights that stay clear and headlights that fog up again next month. Detail shops charge $50 to $150 for headlight restoration, and they always include this step. They just don't advertise it because the mystery keeps you coming back when they fog up again. Now you know the full process. Now let's talk about something that could save you on a freezing morning. Tip number 11, hidden keyhole car door. It's winter. Your car's battery is completely dead, and your key fob won't unlock the doors. You're standing in a parking lot, freezing, trying to figure out how to get inside. Most modern cars hide the traditional keyhole, so people assume it doesn't exist anymore. But here's what car manufacturers don't make obvious. The keyhole is still there. It's just hidden under a decorative cover on your driver's door handle. Now here's the kicker. This feature exists on almost every modern car, but nobody tells you about it. Locksmiths charge $150 or more for emergency lockout service. You just solved it yourself in 30 seconds. Dealerships and locksmiths don't advertise this because emergencies are profitable. Now you're prepared for the inevitable dead battery situation. Before we get to the really game-changing stuff, do me a favor, hit that like button. We spent hours researching these tips, and it genuinely helps us make more content like this. Done. Awesome. Now let's talk about a habit that's quietly destroying your brakes. Tip number 10, don't rest your foot on the brake pedal. You're cruising down the highway, and your left foot is just casually resting on the brake pedal, not pressing it hard, just lightly touching it. But here's the problem. Even the slightest pressure on the brake pedal activates your brake lights and creates just enough friction to drag your brake pads against the rotors. This generates heat, wears down your pads prematurely, and can even warp your rotors over time. And here's what they don't tell you. Brake pads should last 30,000 to 70,000 miles, depending on your driving style. But if you're a foot rester, you might burn through them in 15,000 to 20,000 miles. A full brake job with pads and rotors costs $300 to $800, depending on your vehicle. You're literally throwing money away because of a bad habit. Mechanics love foot resters because brake jobs are frequent, easy, and profitable. Don't be their favorite customer for the wrong reasons. You'd be surprised by this next one. Tip number 9, baking soda odor clean. Foul smells in your car aren't just embarrassing when someone gets in. They're legitimately disgusting. Whether it's old fast food, wet dog, gym bag funk, or something you don't even want to identify, that smell lingers in the fabric and carpet. Dealerships charge $100 for odor removal services that involve fancy ozone machines and chemical sprays. But here's what they don't want you to know. Baking soda does the exact same job for about $1. Sprinkle baking soda generously all over your seats, floor mats, and carpet. Don't be shy with it. You want full coverage. Let it sit overnight, or better yet, for a full 24 hours. The baking soda doesn't just mask the smell. It absorbs it at a molecular level, pulling odor-causing particles right out of the fabric. Here's the truth. This costs $1 and works better than any air freshener or professional odor removal service. It doesn't cover up smells with fake fragrances. It eliminates them entirely. Mechanics know this. They just prefer charging you 100 times more to do it for you. Now you can handle any odor situation yourself without spending a fortune on professional service. Tip number 8, keep tires 3 PSI above door sticker. Your car's door jamb has a sticker that tells you the recommended tire pressure. Most people follow it religiously, thinking the manufacturer knows best. But here's what tire experts know that contradicts that sticker. Those recommendations are optimized for ride comfort, not tire longevity or fuel efficiency. Running your tires at the recommended pressure is fine, but running them 3 PSI higher gives you better fuel economy, longer tire life, and more responsive handling. Here's the science behind it. Underinflated tires create more rolling resistance, which burns more fuel and generates more heat. That heat breaks down the tire's internal structure faster, leading to premature wear and potential blowouts. Overinflated tires, within reason, reduce rolling resistance and create less heat. 3 psi above the door sticker is the sweet spot. You're not overinflating dangerously, but you're optimizing performance. Tire shops don't advertise this because selling tires more frequently is how they make money. Now you know how to maximize your investment. Here's one that prevents expensive AC damage. Tip number 7, turn off your AC before shutting off the car. You arrive at your destination, and you just turn the key off while the AC is still blasting. Seems harmless, right? But here's what's happening under the hood that nobody explains. When you shut off your engine with the AC running, moisture gets trapped in the evaporator and AC lines. That moisture breeds mold and mildew, which creates that musty smell when you first turn on your AC. Even worse, it puts unnecessary stress on your AC compressor during startup. Here's the proper sequence. About a minute before you arrive, turn off the AC, but leave the fan running on high. This dries out the evaporator and prevents moisture buildup. When you park, turn off the fan, then shut off the engine. Your AC system stays dry, your compressor lasts longer, and you never get that gross moldy smell when you start your car. Now let's talk numbers. An AC compressor replacement costs $800 to $1,500. Mold remediation and evaporator cleaning costs $150 to $300. This simple habit prevents both issues completely. Mechanics don't mention this because AC work is incredibly profitable. Now, you're protecting your system like a professional. This next one saves fuel and reduces engine wear. Tip number 6, don't idle for more than 30 seconds. It's cold outside, and you start your car and let it idle for 5, 10, even 15 minutes to warm up. Or you're waiting in a parking lot with the engine running while scrolling your phone. But here's the truth about idling that contradicts old school advice. Modern engines don't need extended warm-up periods. 30 seconds of idling is enough. After that, gentle driving warms up your engine faster and more efficiently than sitting still. What's really happening? Idling wastes fuel, creates carbon buildup in your engine, contaminates your oil faster, and wears out components without actually getting you anywhere. Your engine warms up by working, not by sitting. The only exception is if it's below 0 degrees outside. Then maybe give it a minute or two, but for normal cold weather, 30 seconds and go. And let's talk about the cost. Extended idling costs you about 5 to 10 cents per minute in wasted fuel. Over a year, that's hundreds of dollars just sitting in your driveway. Plus, it shortens your oil change intervals and creates deposits on your valves and pistons. Mechanics don't discourage idling because it means more frequent maintenance. Now you know better. You'll be shocked by this next one. Tip number 5, power of car shifting handles. Your automatic transmission has letters and numbers on the shifter: park, reverse, neutral, drive, and sometimes numbers like 1, 2, or 3, or letters like L for low. Most drivers only ever use park, reverse, and drive. But here's what you're missing. Those lower gears give you manual control over your transmission, and they're incredibly useful in specific situations that can save your transmission from damage. Driving down a steep mountain road. Shift into a lower gear. Your engine provides braking force instead of relying entirely on your brakes, which prevents brake fade and overheating. Pulling a trailer or climbing a steep hill. Lower gear gives you more torque and prevents your transmission from hunting between gears, which creates excessive heat and wear. And here's another situation. Stuck in snow or mud. Starting in second gear reduces wheel spin and gives you better traction. These gears exist for a reason, but driving schools barely mention them. Using them properly extends your transmission's life and prevents expensive repairs. A transmission rebuild costs $3,000 to $5,000. Learning to use your gears intelligently could save you that entire expense. This next trick prevents a dangerous blinding situation. Tip number 4, anti-glare rear view trick. You're driving at night, and the car behind you has their high beams on, or they just have those super bright LED headlights. The glare in your rear view mirror is blinding, making it hard to see anything. Most people just squint and suffer through it. But here's what you're missing. Your rear view mirror has a tab or lever on the bottom. That lever switches the mirror to night mode, which angles the reflective surface to reduce glare dramatically. Flip that tab toward you, and the blinding glare becomes a dim reflection that's easy to ignore. Your visibility stays perfect. Flip it back during the day for normal use. Here's the irony. This feature has existed in cars since the 1930s, yet somehow people still don't know about it. Modern cars have auto-dimming mirrors that do this electronically, but the manual version works just as well. The result? This prevents accidents caused by glare blindness and reduces eye strain on night drives. It's a simple mechanical feature that improves safety instantly. Driving instructors should emphasize this, but it's usually a footnote in the manual. Now you'll never be blinded by the car behind you again. This one will surprise you and save your steering components. Tip number 3, never turn your wheel while parked. You're parked and you need to turn your wheels to get out of a tight spot, so you crank the steering wheel hard while sitting completely still. This is called dry steering, and it's murdering your car. But here's what's happening. When your wheels aren't moving, turning the steering wheel puts maximum stress on your power steering pump, tie rods, ball joints, and steering rack. All that pressure concentrates on stationary parts, creating excessive wear. Here's the proper technique. Always have your car moving, even slightly, when you turn the wheel. Roll forward or backward an inch while turning. This distributes the forces naturally and reduces stress on your steering components by about 70%. Your power steering system will last the life of the vehicle instead of failing at 100,000 miles. And let's talk about the damage. A steering rack replacement costs $800 to $1,500. Power steering pump replacement costs $300 to $600. Tie rods and ball joints add another few hundred. All of this can be avoided by never dry steering. Mechanics know this destroys components, but steering work is profitable, so they don't go out of their way to warn you. Now you know. Trust me, you'll be shocked by this one. Tip number 2, don't rest your hand on the shifter. You're cruising along with your hand casually resting on the gear shifter. It's comfortable, gives you something to do with your hand, and feels natural. But here's the problem. Inside your transmission, the shifter connects to a selector fork that controls which gear is engaged. When you rest your hand on the shifter, you're putting constant downward pressure on that fork. Over time, this wears down the selector fork and the synchronizers inside your transmission. This might seem insignificant, but thousands of miles of constant pressure accelerates wear dramatically. And when that happens, your transmission starts grinding gears, slipping, or refusing to shift smoothly. The damage is internal and expensive to fix. A transmission rebuild to replace worn synchronizers and selector forks costs $2,000 to $4,000. Here's the fix. Rest your hand on your thigh, the armrest, or the steering wheel. Only touch the shifter when you're actively shifting. This applies to both manual and automatic transmissions. Mechanics see this wear pattern constantly, but they don't warn people because transmission work is some of their most profitable service. Your hand belongs anywhere except on that shifter. Tip number 1, clean throttle body. Your engine needs air to run. That air flows through the throttle body, which controls how much air enters your engine based on how hard you press the gas pedal. Over time, carbon deposits, oil residue, and dirt build up inside the throttle body, restricting airflow. This causes rough idling, hesitation during acceleration, poor fuel economy, and sometimes even stalling. Your check engine light might come on with throttle position sensor codes. Dealerships and shops charge $150 to $300 for throttle body cleaning service. But here's the secret. You can do it yourself in 15 minutes for about $8. Buy a can of throttle body cleaner from any auto parts store. Locate your throttle body, usually right after your air filter housing. Remove the air intake tube to expose the throttle plate. Spray the cleaner directly onto the throttle plate and surrounding area while someone slowly presses the gas pedal to open the plate. Let it soak for a minute, then start your car and let it idle for a few minutes to burn off the cleaner. And here's what happens. The carbon buildup dissolves, airflow returns to normal, and your engine runs like new. Do this every 20,000 to 30,000 miles, and you'll prevent throttle-related issues entirely. This is one of the simplest maintenance tasks that dramatically improves engine performance. Mechanics charge a premium for this service because most people don't realize how easy it is. Now you're saving $150 every time you do it yourself. If this video just saved you thousands in repairs or helped you avoid mistakes that destroy your car, hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Your car and your wallet are going to thank you for sticking around. Anyways, did you know there are more driving secrets that mechanics don't want you to know? Click this video. You won't regret clicking it.